All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we are here for another episode of the Authority Project. On the virtual stage with me today, we have two special guests today for me. The first of all is Valerie Jennings and her partner, Johnna. How about I get this right? Londen. Hope that is correct. Yes. So we are very excited about the title today. And the title is as follows: When it's really time to automate your business. They're going to show us the time when we should be automating our business. Is that correct? I'll say Valerie. Is that correct, Valerie?
Most definitely. Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna hit you guys both up with the first question. If you're gonna tell me who you are personally and professionally, first Valerie and then Johnna.
Okay. Basically, I'm a Marine Corps brat. My father served over 20 years in Marine Corps as a pilot, did 2 tours in Vietnam, and also has earned the Distinguished Flying Cross. So that's something big and different.
Yeah.
Have lived, I'm actually located right now in Mexico. I've lived here now 20 years, bought a house last year, and just been in this business now for over 13 years. And we love automation, tech geekies. That's us.
Wow. Okay. How about you, John?
A little similar story. Actually, Valerie and I live and work together and have for the whole 20 years that we have owned our businesses. I am an Army brat. My dad served 21 years in the military, retired as a sergeant major, and he did 3 tours in Vietnam and has a Purple Heart and all that. As far as business goes, Valerie and I work really well together because we are basically 2 halves of one whole. Personality test, business aptitude test, anytime that we're asked to take those, I'm on one spectrum of it, she's on the other spectrum of it, and the bottom line of everything is you should look for this type of person to work with. So in that aspect, we make the perfect team as far as working together. But like I said, we're a little different in the fact that we do own our home together and we work and share our home together. So with her husband, our 3 dogs, our 9 birds, and God knows how many fish.
Awesome. Let me ask you now, what project you guys are currently working on? What's the project you guys are working on now currently?
We are actually in the process of rebuilding our business. We took a year off. Johnna's husband just recently passed away from cancer. So we took a year off to tend to him, to make sure that we could give him the best that we could give him. And, unfortunately, COVID hit at the same time. So rebuilding is a little bit longer, but we're getting there, and we're just hitting people and getting new clients. And we like to keep our business very small. So we do not max ourselves any past 10 clients, and that's it. So that way they get a VIP white glove treatment and get that personal one-on-one. We do not outsource any of our projects. We actually do all of the work with the client. So there's no miscommunications. The quality is very, keeps the quality at its utmost that we can keep it because it's actually our hands-on into it.
Yeah, we have somebody say my condolences as well on the passing of your husband, Johnna. And I just want to thank you for the service of both of your fathers. That's an amazing story. I'm sure that's how you guys were connected, which was my second question. My next question was, how did you guys meet and him be partners? Anyone can answer that question.
I will take that one. It was actually an interesting story. My husband and I had one of those quick build your website companies right before 9/11 hit. When 9/11 hit, that kind of fell by the wayside. My dad was a strict person, and you don't leave people stranded. If you owe them money, you pay your debts.
Yeah.
So we sold everything that was accompanied to the business. We paid off everybody we owed, and we had just a little bit of money left. We'd never had a honeymoon or a vacation. So we thought, hey, we'll backpack Mexico, because we heard some great stories. We get to Tampico, which is beautiful, by the way, and get pickpocketed for all the money we still have. So we end up with about 500 pesos in our pockets, and we end up in Jalitla, which is in the top of the Sierra Gorda Mountains. And we meet the only English-speaking person in the whole entire area. Neither one of us spoke very well Spanish, hardly at all. And he says, please go to San Miguel de Allende before you leave Mexico, so you don't leave Mexico with this horrible taste in your mouth that it's just a horrible place.
Right.
So we get to Mexico, and we're supposed to link up the guy named Robbie who owned the Bagel Cafe, which is a restaurant there. And as we're walking out, because it's closed, he's walking into the inventory, so it was fate, obviously. And as we're sitting there talking to him, he says, look, I have a friend who owns a computer business here, and she was featured in our local newspaper, and now she's got more work than she can keep up with. My background and my husband's background were both computer sciences degrees type thing. And he says, so why don't you get with her? Maybe you can work. See some of the Mexico and get a better feel for it so that you don't leave heartbroken. So we met with Valerie 3 days later. Joel started working with her. I started working in the business with them about a month after. And that's how it has been ever since. Like I said, we share a home and our business and have for 20 years.
Awesome. Oh, well, that's an amazing story. What an amazing story. I love partners because I think sometimes they're very hard to find. Great to have one if you can find one. I've had horror stories of having partners, so kudos to you two for that. So let's get right to it. Let's dive in. Let's dive into it.
Let's dive in.
So, how do we get super rich with funnels? Please, I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. When is the right time to even consider automation in its many forms?
Well, I think even if you're just starting out, you should at least have, if nothing else, an online calendar onto your website so people could book calls. So if you're going to do nothing else, at least have that part. And a lot of people don't consider that automation, but it really is. It is the best way that people can book a call, get a call to you, and for you to receive an email. And depending on what you use, I mean, it can send out reminders, it can send out the links that you're going to join if you're going to go via webinar or however way you're going to join up. So that is probably the very first automation I would say that you should have. There are a lot of them that are free. Google Calendar is free. Calendar is free. There's a lot of them out there. So you don't even have to, at this point in time, if you're just starting out, to spend the money. And when we first started our whole business and decided this is what we wanted to do, we started off everything free. We had our Weebly free site, and we had our little calendar built in from Weebly. And as we got our first client, we decided, okay, fine, we're going to take, 25% of that and reinvest that into the business. And, sooner or later we had enough money to get the website. So that was our first thing. Oh my God, we're going to get the domain. We're going to get the website, the hosting, and spent it on there and kept the calendar for free at the time. We still had Google Calendar at the time. So I think it's important as you're going through, there's two ways to look at it. It's, how much money and what stage of business are you in? Right. And how much money do you have to actually invest in the business? And that will tell you from there all the tools that you need to automate. Because it'd be nice to say, hey, everybody should start with Infusionsoft and Ontraport. But the fact of the matter is that's a big bill and a big chunk of money to eat up every single month.
Yes.
And there's nothing worse than jumping into automation, finding out you can't afford it, and then having to go back. It's easier to go forward than it is to go back.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, Johnna?
Yeah, I think Val's right in that aspect. There are tons of free things out there for you to be able to automate. The other things I would suggest you looking into automating, only because people constantly say, oh, I'm on Facebook for hours, or I'm on Twitter for days, or I'm losing all of this time. I'm not saying automate all of your social media, because let's be honest, the social media is where you build your audience. It's going to be where you build your community, and that like, know, trust factor. If they don't know you and they don't like you, they're not going to buy from you. And it doesn't matter whether you sell a product, a service, or whatever it is you sell. The people are going to buy from you. They're buying you. They're not buying your product or service. They're buying you. So you want to make sure that when you go to your social media, you put a little effort into it. And automating social media is probably one of the easiest things to automate. Hootsuite offers a free service. So if you don't have the money to get the Meet Edgar of the world or the Buffer of the world, you do have the options to use Hootsuite. A Buffer does have a free version for those of you just starting out. And the nice thing with those Hootsuite and Buffer type programs is they grow with you. So you start the free program and now you're making some money and you go to the paid program and you get the extra bonuses. But social media is a really good way to automate your business. So it takes some of it off your plate. Now, you don't want to completely automate the whole thing. You do want that getting to with your audience and being realistic and presenting yourself. But you can automate a lot of it. You can automate your daily inspiration post if you're a life coach, or automate your daily sales quote if you're a sales coach, or automate your daily product that you're going to put out on the market if you say you have an e-commerce store or you're an online store. So for that, social media automation is another quick, easy way to automate some things in your business and take some things off your plate, so you can spend the time where you really enjoy spending the time, and that is growing your business or engaging with your clients or your customers or your audience.
Awesome. And then I'm going to comment in from Jeremy saying, what a great point. When I buy on Instagram, it is because I like the content providers. I want to support the people I like. Absolutely. And I just want to make sure that people are listening very carefully to what they're saying. That basically, I think the first point of what you guys are making is that there's always a place to start with automation.
Yes.
Because I think, go ahead.
Yeah. And you don't want to over automate. I think that's important too. I know a lot of people that ended up getting in with the VA, and the VA, of course, is going to make affiliate money. So she tries to recommend everything on a company. And then they're tech challenged. So then it becomes an issue of, oh my God, now I'm overwhelmed. Automation should not overwhelm you. Automation should be very simple, and it should make your life easier. If the automation is overwhelming you, then there's an issue. Chances are you've been oversold, and you need to start now looking at an entirely different thing. I mean, I know we've done this numerous times. We've had clients come to us who are just way over automated, and things are breaking and they don't understand it, and they have no idea where anything is or how to fix it. And they've been sold everything in the world, and they're spending $400 or $500 a month in automation.
Right.
So, it's very important to stop and think of what is it that you really need to take off your plate, and what is it that you really need to automate, and then go slow into it. Do it in steps. You don't, this isn't it's a marathon. It's not a race. And, you should, every year you should look at adding one more piece to the puzzle.
I love that. I hope everybody, again, I hope everybody's listening, because they're spot on. I have questions here and they're already answering them already as we go through it already. So, you already answered my question. Okay. So can you give us the feeling, I'm glad you said that, Valerie, about, it shouldn't be an overwhelming thing. It should be something making your life easier. When it's working, what is the feeling like for the people that you experience, for a business owner, knowing that their business is on autopilot? What is that feeling like?
When your automation is working, and it's not necessarily autopilot, because you still need to make sure that you keep your personal touch in your business. Don't throw everything into automation and go, oh, well, I'm done, I don't have to do anything, because that's not true.
Right.
However, the feeling that you should have if your automation is in place and it's working is one of peace. You should know that you can go to bed tonight and know that your evergreen sales funnel is going to work without a problem. They're going to get that sign up page, and then they're going to get that download, and then they're going to get those emails, and they're going to buy from you, or they're going to sign up for you, or whatever it is you're trying to get out of that. So I think the biggest thing you want to make sure of, if when you put your automation in place and you test it and you run it, that you have that sense of peace. You have that sense of purpose, that the automation is going to work for you. It's going to do what you're expecting it to do. And if you don't have that, and you don't feel at peace with your automation sequences or your automation funnels or whatever it is that you're working on, then you might want to take a step back and look at those and find out why you don't have that peace. Because if it's working and it's functioning like it should be, and it's properly set up and it's properly done, then you should have a sense of peace and a deep breath of relaxation, knowing that you're fine and it's going to be great.
Awesome. So my next question, Valerie, is when you guys start to work with a client, what criteria are you looking for when they tell you they want a funnel? Because I've had that experience too. It's like, I want a funnel, like, okay, but what do you want? Basically, okay, but go ahead. You answer that, not me. You answer.
We usually will sit down with the client and go through a whole welcome call first to find out, are they really ready for that funnel? A lot of people think, oh, I've got a product, so I'm now ready. And that's not necessarily the case. So we actually go back and look at, do they have a funnel? Do they have case studies? Has people tried the item? Do we have testimonials? Do we have copy? Are we doing the copy? Are they doing the copy? Are we doing emails? How are we doing the touch bases and the follow-ups? And that usually will start up a whole numerous amount. Oh, well, I didn't know I had to have this, and I didn't know I had to have this. And then they find out really they're not ready for that funnel, but we're ready for the beginning stages to start the funnel. But you can't do anything unless you have copy, graphics, a price point, and at least some form of a testimonial. Without those items, a sales funnel really can't be built. I mean, you can throw it on there, but nobody's going to buy it because you have no integrity, you have no likeness,
Okay.
and, I mean, you have to be able to show that this is what the person needs. So I think it's important. Once you have those items, then it's just a matter of putting the pieces together like a puzzle. You have to have all the pieces. And if you have all the pieces, you can put the puzzle together and you can see the picture at the end. So I think that's the important thing, is sitting down, getting a clear communication with the client to find out what items are missing, what items are they going to provide, you're going to provide, and what items are they lacking that they're going to have to go elsewhere to go get before. Once that's done, then we not only do complete done for you services, so we'll actually do all the copy and everything else, but we'll actually put the full implementation in.
Yeah. So I think I think the one thing that I see people might having struggle with is that they want the automation, but they are check challenged from the beginning, and they don't know how to do the wordings, like you said. They don't know how to do the copy. All these different things. They may not have enough money to get anything big. Like I said, start free, of course. But I think the challenge is, it seems overwhelming at first because they haven't done it before. How do you ease one's mind, or how do you get them to a point where it's something that is not so overwhelming to do, or to if they have to do it themselves or outsource it, I guess.
Well, there's a couple of different ways. Like we said, take small pieces. So say you've got a product and you have the testimonials, and now you're ready to take that next step. We have some free checklists on our website that say, okay, so you've got this, and you've got this, and you've got this, and once you do this, then these are the steps. And it's not necessarily that they need to outsource it, or maybe they don't need to outsource it, but they need to take it in small steps, and they need to go into it with the mindset that this is not undoable. I'm not a dummy. I'm not going to fail at this. This is my business. And they need to go into it with the mindset, I can do this. I may not be able to do all of this on my own. I may have to have a little bit of help. And there are a lot of options out there when it comes to help. You don't have to go to the most expensive person on the planet because they are the most expensive person on the planet. Because not necessarily, most expensive does not always necessarily mean the best.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on that, my suggestions to anybody that's going to ready to take those steps in automation, whether it be with their emails or their sales funnels or their social media, whatever those automations are, sit down, have that talk with yourself. I am capable of doing this. I can do this, but I'm going to do this in steps. Don't jump into the deep end of the pool if you don't know how to swim. Start at the kiddie pool and work your way in. And the first thing is to sit down and either make yourself a list or find a checklist. These are the things I need. These are the things I have. These are the things I still need to get. And then when you have those, that's the kiddie pool. Now we're ready to go into the 2-foot pool. And then you do those. And then it just, so you do it in steps, and then you don't overwhelm yourself either. So it's not a matter of not being able to do automation. It's a matter of making sure that you do automation in the steps that they need to be done so that you are successful when it's finished.
Awesome.
And the fact is, nobody's good at everything.
No.
And even today, I mean, like copywriters, if copywriting is not your thing and you can't afford somebody like with us that does done for you services, trust me, there are plenty of Facebook groups out there of copywriters who will do it just for a testimonial exchange. They're just starting out. They've got the talent. There's Fivers, there's Upworks, there's all sorts of little places that you could set up and do it at a cheaper amount that at least allows you to get the base of what you want to say. And then you can go in and massage it and make it your voice. And that's important. Don't take somebody else's work and just plaster it onto a site. Always make sure that you go back and put it in your voice because you're the one selling it. It's your credibility. And if it sounds like somebody else, it's not going to sound authentic. And you're going to lose your people right at day one.
Awesome. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there's always, I mean, I think when people think about funnels, they'll think like, click funnels or, I guess now group funnels and the like. But you're saying, like I said, I was mentioning this to another client that there are many forms of funnels. And I like how you said the calendar, get something that's something that can direct people to a certain point or where you want to take them. Because I think everybody has their initial goal, what they want, right? Or supposedly, or maybe not, but somewhat they know what they're looking for. So you're saying, just to make sure everybody knows, you're saying that there's always a place, even in the beginning, to start some type of funnel. Is that correct? Or automation?
Most definitely. I mean, and every funnel is different. The idea of sitting down at the very beginning is what is the purpose of the funnel? Not everything is to sell. Yeah. You could have a funnel that's informative. I mean, that's basically what email marketing is. In most cases, it's an informative funnel, which is the nurture sequence to know, like, and trust. Is it for abandoned cart, which is a whole different type of funnel of trying to get people back into the cart? The actual sale funnel, which is where you're really going to sell something. Your upsells, your downsells, those are all different funnels. So you need to sit down and first decide on what is the purpose of the funnel before you build the funnel.
Awesome. I think you guys are like the first people that really said you can do it from the beginning. Because most people, when I talk to them, are saying you should wait to do organic reach, organic traffic first before, and then, well, you guys did say that you have to make sure that you have either testimony or case study, that kind of thing. Yes. Did I misinterpret that?
Testimonials help. And, you could, like I said, you could always trade those off. I mean, there are plenty of people out there that will beta test a program. If you're selling a program, beta test a product. If you're doing a product, if you're, a coach that's selling an ebook or something like that. I mean, there are ways that you can say, I'm going to open this up to 10 people, let them give me an honest review of whatever it is that you're selling, and then come back with those testimonials. And it also allows you as a business owner to see those honest reviews from the beginning, because if the product is lacking something, you want to know before your launch.
Right.
So, I mean, I wouldn't do anything until you've at least had 20 people try it and get back real honest testimonials before doing it. There may have to be adjustments that are made before you really have to do that launch. So yes, I think that it's important to start off at the beginning with some sort of testimonial before you do anything.
Awesome. So let's take on this scenario. Say they've done it, what you guys are saying already. They've done the beta group. They got testimonials. They got case studies. They've done at least 20 people. And now they're coming to you and they're saying, I have all these things. Now I want to build a funnel based on this. How do they start from there?
Okay, there's a couple of ways we can start from there. Are they already using a email marketing system or a CRM that has funnel capabilities built in? Or are they using one that does not? They do not have to switch. So say you're using MailChimp, which is not exactly a good example because MailChimp does have funnels and landing pages and stuff now in the paid versions. But for instance, say that they come to you and their email marketing software does not allow that. There are great ways out there, inexpensive ways to get your funnel pages up, even like using a Divi website builder makes some great opt-in landing pages. And then it's just a matter of taking the vision of what they see happening from their funnel and laying that out for them. Because anybody that's a really good funnel expert or automation person is going to lay you out a mind map. And it's basically going to be a visualization of how everything is going to flow through the funnel so that the client can see it. You can see the person doing the work can see it. You can collaborate on that together before it's built. So everybody's on the same page. This page, we're going to have an opt-in page, and the opt-in page is going to give them a thank you email. And then from that thank you, they're going to get an email, or they're going to get the product, or they're going to get taken to the cart, however that funnel is working. So do not let anybody bully you into saying, okay, you've got a funnel ready to build. We're going to make you go to Untitled, or hey, you got to go to ClickFunnels, or hey, you have to use lead pages, because it's not a matter of what they want you to use. It's a matter of what you feel comfortable using in your budget and for what your funnel needs to accomplish. Because in the end, we are sticklers about this too. It just drives me nuts. People who get you to buy software they know you can't use so they can hold you hostage.
Yeah.
So we always tell our clients, we find out what level of techie they are. And then we make sure that whatever we get them involved in is something that if we leave tomorrow, they can still manage their own funnel. So I think when the client comes to us and they say, I have these things now, I'm ready, we sit down and we have a real discussion about where they want this funnel to go, what they want this funnel to achieve. Are they going to keep this as a long running funnel, or is this going to be a short running automation funnel? That determines a lot of what software or what programs they need to have out there. Because anybody who comes to you and says, I need a funnel, and you immediately push them to Ontraport, and it's a 1 week sale and they're never going to sell the product again, that's wrong.
Yeah. Gotcha. Anything else to add to that, Valerie? That's wonderful. I love it.
I think it's also important that, again, you got to realize even after the funnel is done, if it's a short-term one that doesn't, it's not an evergreen, what happens afterwards? And a lot of people forget that. They throw them into a funnel, they get all these people, they sell, and then they drop them. And you never hear from them again until there's another funnel. And I think that's just wrong. Okay. That guerrilla marketing type of thing, I think, is the worst in the world. Yep, I know it sells. But but we just don't believe in it. I think that you can win far more clientele and keep clientele, not just win them, but keep them, if you actually sell a product that people want, that's high quality, gets them through, And then you're not doing that forced constant sell, 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 sell. You can do the sell, 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 and then educate, educate, educate. Then you can come back around to the sell, sell, sell. That know, like, and trust factor, I think, is very vital in sales funnels. And I think a lot of people forget that.
I love it. I love it. So I like how you said that. Both of you just doing incredible, just incredible content today, guys. Just unbelievable. And I wanted to ask about the basic components of a funnel. Are you guys anti, like, upgrade downgrade kind of people, or are you okay with the occasional upgrade downgrade kind of thing on a sales funnel in particular?
I think it depends. If it's a really good product and it has an accompanying upgrade or downgrade, then I can see the absolute purpose behind it. But if it's a product that really doesn't need that upsell or that downsell, then I think that's just kind of a greedy way to try to make money. I know that sounds bad, but I do believe in a lot of products. Our products we have a couple of programs that do have a possible upsell, but then they do have that downsell, because you're going to have those people that are really interested in your main product and it's a little out of their price range.
Right.
So you offer them something that's a little lower, maybe in their price range better, so they still get that basic product that they're really wanting, but it doesn't make them go into debt to get it. Or you have those people that are fantastic, loved that main product, but are looking for that added boost, that added extra thing. That's where that upsell comes in. So I'm not opposed to them if it makes sense. If it's just something you're doing because you want to add on to try to make some more money, then yeah, I'm a little opposed to that. I know business people, entrepreneurs and business people with ethics are like, but I do have a set of ethics. I don't want to see people get hurt or oversold or, pardon my language, screwed when they don't need to be. So if the product legitimately does have a need for an upsell or a downsell, then I am perfectly okay with using those. Yes.
Yeah. And I think part of that also is if you have a good relationship with the people that you're seeing the sales funnel to, right? So
Most definitely. Yeah.
And I think that if you have a relationship with them, then you don't want to screw them anyway. you would think so anyway, right? So
Exactly. And of course, it also depends on your method of sell. I mean, if you've always offered upsells and downsells, and there are those people that do, a lot of the network marketers always have upsells and downsells. You can see it in everything that they do. And that's like a big flash. Oh, I'm a network marketer because I got an upsell and downsell.
Yeah.
So I think that is important. If it's the very first time that you're doing it, I think it's important afterwards to really look at the funnel at the end and see how it worked. I mean, that's where the analytics is really going to be important, because there are some audience that are completely turned off by it. So they'll immediately just click off and that's the end of it. As soon as you get into, these 50 pages. I know myself, especially with the network marketer stuff, every once in a while I'll get into, I want to buy a PowerPoint presentation software, for example, or something like that. And there's 22 different pages. Well, after a while, it just gets annoying. It's just like, what, get me out of here now. I'm done. So I think that's important is, also you don't want to over upsell. You don't want to over downsell. And you'll see a lot of those with the network marketers where they'll offer you like 5 downsells and 5 upsells. Yeah. So I think that's also important is looking at how the actual funnel is all going through. And at the end, looking at the analytics to see, did your audience like the upsells and downsells? Did it work for you?
Awesome. And I got a couple more questions, if you don't mind, before we get out of here. Now, I have to ask this question. I know this is because I'm going to ask it anyway. I'm going to ask it. Are there certain tools that you do recommend? I know there are plenty to choose from. I know it's a loaded question, but I had to ask it. I'm sure some inquiring minds are out there want to know from you two, what you guys really like or think that people might be easier to use. My thing is, if it's easy to navigate, that's the one you should use. But that's my thing, because some people are okay with figuring it out. I'm just not that guy.
Okay. Let's see. We'll just my favorites for social media marketing and automation. I would suggest either Hootsuite or Buffer. They're both extremely easy to use. They're both extremely self-explanatory. They both have free versions, and then you can upgrade to their paid versions. So if you're going to look for a social media marketing tool, I would say look at those two first. Once you get into like the social cues and the meat eggers, they get a little more complicated. Just plain email marketing, I would say look at MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, and then on the little pricier side would be ConvertKit. They're MailChimp and ActiveCampaign, both. MailChimp has free versions, really easy to use, just built-in landing pages now, so you can do your funnels in the same place that you do your emails. ActiveCampaign has some great automation sequences, very easy to use, very inexpensive. And ConvertKit is a little more money than ActiveCampaign, but it's a little more robust. You can actually build marketing campaigns and funnels that look very similar and are set up very similar to Infusionsoft and Ontraport and work the same way. So for those, I would say that. Now, if you are a business that has a little more money to spend and you're looking for a little more oomph for your dollar, then you might look into an Infusionsoft or an Ontraport. And the reason I say that is because they're basically an all-in-one software. They are a CRM that allows you to have notes and history and tasks assigned to each client in there or each contact. They allow you to have landing pages and build funnels and have forms. So if you're looking for a robust all-in-one and you have the money in your marketing budget to do that, you might look at those. But again, those free softwares I mentioned, for those of you starting out that are ready to take that next step to an automation, trust me, they're great. They're very user-friendly. They're very inexpensive. And the tech support for all of those is spot on. They have live chat support, so you can talk to them right then. So those are some of my favorites. I don't know if Val agrees, because she's probably have a little different ones. But so I'm trying to help maybe those of you starting out and maybe those of you that are looking for that next step. You've got the automation, you've got the basic software, but now you're ready to move on. So those are some options to look at.
Yeah. Okay. Valerie, you have anything to add to those at all?
Mine, I would say, basically for calendar, it's because of purpose more than it is because of the fact that I like it as Acuity. We like Acuity only because of the fact that it allows Johnna to have her own personal calendar, my own personal calendar, but it shows up on a main calendar. We also like the way that it sets up for the fact that I can set up different call links for different purposes and different programs, as well as I can charge for calls if I need to, or call for, those type of things can all be charged as well. So I think the most important question is not necessarily what our favorites are, but what your purpose of it is. We use, Appointment Core 360, which is, matched with Infusionsoft. But if you're not using Infusionsoft, then Appointment Core 360, no matter whether I like it or don't like it, doesn't have any purpose for it. If you're using Ontraport, that's actually going to be hooked up with Acuity by the end of the year, they're saying. So that may be a purpose of, if you're using Ontraport, of why you'd want to go to Acuity. So I think that's the thing, is you actually really need to look at first, instead of just arbitrarily saying, I'm going to go buy ConvertKit. I think it really needs to go back to, what is it that you need it to do? And then let us from there tell you what these are the best options. And this is why. These are the pluses. These are the minuses. This is what it's going to cost you. And then come back with a decision from there, than it is just arbitrarily say, this is my favorite. This is the one you should buy. Because for our business, we use Ontraport. Why do we use Ontraport? We use Ontraport because we found Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft, and it is Confusionsoft. And we were partners of theirs, and we used their program for many years. But it was always, I got tired of, that's an add-on. That's an add-on. That's an add-on. Go to this company, go to that. I just got tired of that. And every time you go to somebody else, it's another $100, $200 a month that's tacked onto the bill. So, you can rack up $600 a month very easily. with Infusionsoft. So and we like Ontraport. I mean, we're going to be certified Ontraport consultants next month. We're taking their courses. So we like them. We like the support. We like the way that they do business. We like the easy, we know it inside and out. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. I mean, they have the membership plugin already built in. They already have the calendar part of it built in. They have the forms built into it. They have most of it. The only thing they don't have is a shopping cart, which drives me nuts. But they're assuring me that a shopping cart is coming up next year as well.
Okay, there you go.
So it's coming, and they know, and they're aware of it. And shopping carts, if you want a shopping cart, and that's what there's nothing I don't think any better than Shopify. I think they're great for doing that. It has everything built in. WooCommerce is great for free stuff, but again, everything is an add-on. If you want shipping, it costs you a plugin, and that costs more money. If you want to do international rates, that's another plugin, costs you more money. So it's very important, again, no matter what you're looking at, is what is it that you need it to do, and then go out and look for whatever the automation software is.
Yeah. Great stuff, ladies. Unbelievable stuff today. I know I had another question in there, but maybe we'll wait for another time. I'm just overwhelmed us right now for the content. And your knowledge is just spot on. But I'll go to if I feel it, I want to sneak it in, I'll ask a little later after this question. So here's the last question. I'm going to put both of you front and center, one at a time. And it's about people listening to you now. They like what you're doing. They like your business model. And they have the same interests, same goals as you guys. And they want to know, in a nutshell, hopefully, or try your best anyway, how to be an authority in this space that you guys are in right now. And I'll go with Valerie first, and then Johnna. I'm going to put you front and center.
To be an authority, wow. For us, it's experience and knowledge. We have over 16 certifications. We've been in the business for 13 years. We've dealt with clients from all different parts. We're worldwide. We do everything in Spanish and in English. So we're also bicultural in that sense. So I think that, the best way that you could say an automation expert is by years of experience and by actually using everything. And we go the one step further of getting certified on top of everything.
I love that. Okay, go ahead, Johnna.
To me, it's learn from your mistakes. You can't be an authority on something if nobody's perfect, and if you say that you're perfect, you're not telling the truth, and you know it. So the fact is, you learn from your mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, then how do you know what's going to be right the next time? So for that aspect, I take every time that something doesn't work or something has failed on me, and I add that to my repertoire of things that I know not to do for next time. To be honest, this online marketing and online field and automation is all about knowledge, learning, and growing with the systems and the world as it grows. And for that reason, the biggest thing is, if you do it and it's messed up, kick yourself, get mad, and redo it, and learn from your mistakes. That's how you become an authority on anything, is learning as you go and keeping that knowledge for the next time.
I love it. I hope you guys got that, because that was perfect. And that's exactly what I try. What this podcast is all about. You have to do it as you go along. I see so many people, and I don't know if it drives me crazy, but it doesn't drive me crazy because I was just like that. And this, I was the stop and go guy. Actually start and stop guy. I would start it, then stop it, then start again, then stop it. Because part of that is going on, and there's no belief system in that you're going to finish, or you're going to get to a certain point in your goals. And I love how you said that, Johnna, that you have to do it as you go along. Work on it as you go along. Mistakes are just going to be results. Do you want to say something to that, Valerie? I can see you.
No, most definitely. I mean, the fact is you're going to make mistakes. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just what it is. So, you know, your competitor is going to beat you because they're going to keep plowing through it. That's all it's to it. I mean, this is a marathon. I mean, this is not going to happen overnight. Business takes a while. You know, you're not going to be a millionaire in, 5 straight weeks. I don't care how much Facebook tells you you're going to make $10,000 in a day. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. It's going to take time to build that clients, to build your audience, to build the traffic, to build the publicity, to build your social media traffic. And it's just having the patience to wait it out. And if you believe in what you're doing and you believe what you have to offer, it will sell.
I love it. You guys are awesome. Unbelievable stuff. We had this topic of automation. I just like that. That's perfect because I really wanted to get that on here because I know people have asked about that, and you are dead on saying, like, you have to know first about what you want. And I'm not going to rehash that. You guys did an incredible job in what you said. But either one of you can let us know for the people who will be listening later, where to find you online, and hopefully dive into your services because they're pretty awesome.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing us to join you today. This has been awesome. If you're interested in getting in touch with us, or maybe you have a question, we do offer a free call. It doesn't cost you a dime. And you can find us at the onlinebusinessgurus.com or the obgs.com. And right there on the front page, we have the link to schedule a call with us. We would be more than glad to answer any questions you have, or maybe help you take that next step in your business.
I love it. Unbelievable, guys. This is great. This is great. I'm kind of speechless, as you can see, because I think you're the first people here have come on and say that you can actually start automation from the beginning. And I would never have said that. So I'm glad you guys have come on and said what you said, because it's just perfect. It's perfect content for automation. Unbelievable. So any final words? I will say I want to mention, if you guys are watching, how cool it is to see that they have matching seats here, matching chairs. Great stuff to see. That's partners right there for you.
Yeah,
incredible stuff. So, but any last words before we get out of here for the show?
We're glad to be on. If people want to send you questions and stuff like that, we'd be more than glad to come back on again and answer any questions. Oh, yes. Again, they can contact us on our website as well. If they just want to ask a one-off question, we'll be more than glad to answer them. We'll be glad to help out in any way we can and come back if you need us.
Oh, definitely. I hopefully you can come back and share with us. I really appreciate you guys today. Perfect into the Monday, because my Monday was kind of, I told him I was trying to shave before because I wasn't ready. I was a little gruffy. So that's Mondays for you. So anyway, let's get out of here. Thank you so much, Valerie and Johnna, for coming through. And we will see you on the next time. Believe me, people. Build it, share it, and they will come. All right? It's very simple. Definitely. Very simple. Take care. I will see you on the next show. Be blessed. I'm out.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway, or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.